Hey everybody, I honestly told myself I was done buying new makeup, but I watched a Jackie Aina video and I just had to try this new PUR foundation. This is the PUR 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. And this right here comes in 100 shades. Yep, why are you in 100 shades? I am a pretty interesting skin tone, I feel like. I'm fairly fair, but I'm not the fairest of fair. But for some reason I end up being usually the lightest shade of foundation in any given range. And they usually end up being way too pink or way too kind of orangey looking on my skin. I'm definitely a little bit more neutral, kind of yellow, but still a little bit of pink. So it's really hard for me to find foundations that are light but have the right undertones. So I was actually pretty intrigued when I heard that this foundation came in 100 shades. I thought maybe there's a good range of undertones for the fair shades, so I really wanted to give it a try. Plus, in Jackie's video, she really loved the finish and thought that it looked really good and wore really well throughout the day. And I am going on a trip soon and I want my makeup to look good all day long. I'm planning on getting up super early and staying out super late for a whole week. So I just really want to find something that's going to look really good throughout the day. I have foundations I really like obviously already, but I just kind of, this just got to me. I couldn't help myself. So we're gonna try it out today. I have never tried anything from PUR Cosmetics before that I can recall. And it's actually been a while since I've had any more high-end foundations. Most of my foundations right now are from the drugstore. I found some that work extremely well and I absolutely love them. I've had some more higher-end foundations in the past that I've also really loved. But for me, I'd rather buy, a lesser expensive foundation and spend more money on getting, a wider variety of lipsticks or more high-end skincare, that kind of thing. But I just couldn't help myself. I don't know why. What is wrong with me? So, as I was watching the video last night, I was pulling up the PUR Cosmetics website because I was trying to, kind of decipher what my shade might be. And they actually have really interesting features on the website to try to help you determine your shade. I went to foundations, I scrolled down to this one right here, and then there's this little pick your shade button. If you select that, it takes you to that specific foundation and then it shows you all the shades right here. You can select which one you are and go ahead and purchase it. Or if you scroll up, there's a little find your shade button right here. So they have two options. You can find your shade using a little quiz, which a lot of websites have this kind of feature. It's not my personal favorite because just because I am a fair skin and a neutral undertone doesn't mean that the fair neutral shade of foundation from that range is going to necessarily work. I just feel like there's not enough information in the quiz to really help you determine what shade will be best. So that's not my favorite option, but down here you can do match by brand. So you can do get matched and you can select the brand, the product, the type of foundation, and then which shade you are, and it will pull up a corresponding shade in this foundation range. So I did that for a couple of my foundations that I have and use, and I feel like they're a pretty good match for my skin. And it pulled up different foundations for all of them. So then I watched a couple more videos where I could see some of the lighter shades swatched next to each other, and then I found out that they have a full Instagram dedicated to finding your shade in this foundation. So aside from the PUR Cosmetics page, there's a PUR, let's see if I can find it. Oh, okay, so they have a PUR Cosmetics page, but in the little bio, there's a PUR Shade Finder Instagram, and you can see all of the shades next to each other. So I scrolled down here, obviously, to the fairest of fair, and I sort of was just looking at the shades next to each other, and you can even click one, scroll to the side, and it will show you the matching shades, one darker and one lighter. So you can really get a good kind of comparison for all the shades together. I thought this was so helpful. So I was kind of trying to pick out my shade, and and they also have testers, the smaller bottles that you can buy online. So they have a travel size and it's $10. This foundation is $36, which is pretty I would say a pretty good price, pretty average size for a foundation that's a little bit more high-end. I love that they have the smaller travel size bottle for $10. I think that's amazing. That way you can try it out, make sure that you find a shade that's right for you before you kind of delve into a giant bottle. Or if you want to buy like a shade that's more your summer shade, a shade that's your winter shade, you can buy two that way. Or since this is a little bit of a multi-purpose foundation, you could get your foundation shade and then you could buy like your contour shade and you're only spending $20. So I think that is amazing and it made me super excited to try this out. I thought about buying one of the little travel sizes online, but I had to go to Ulta today to return something and I saw that they had a couple of the shades in stores and one was my shade, so I got it. And here it is. I got the shade LN2. It does seem to get a little bit darker after it dries down. I tried a couple on my chest here. This one, wait. Yeah, you can't even see it. It's right here, and it matches me like so well. So I'm super excited to have found a shade that looks like it will be pretty spot on for my skin tone. So that's that. So I'm really excited. My skin has just been a little bit like upset lately. I think I'm stressed and not being super careful in particular about my skincare or my diet, so that's probably why. But I'm excited to go in with a nice, supposedly full coverage foundation today. Okay, so this is a groundbreaking all-in-one skincare infused longwear foundation and concealer. Instantly masks and blurs the look of imperfections as it helps to enhance your natural beauty, enriched with age-defying Satin complex, antioxidant rich energy complex that's made from, okay, I don't care about all of the skincare benefits just because my skincare benefits come from my skincare products and I don't feel personally that there are the correct formulation or quantity of skincare ingredients in a foundation to give you any benefit. That's my opinion. If you care about that, you can read about those benefits on here. But let's just look at the other claims for like the wear and finish. Okay, so you've got 100 shades consisting of cool, neutral, and warm undertones that blend seamlessly onto skin for an airbrush looking glow that is universally flattering. Help conceal blemishes, dark spots, imperfections with a targeted built-in doe foot applicator or achieve buildable all-over coverage with a convenient and traditional pump. Go ahead and snap your best selfie. We've got you covered for a finish that is so flawless looking that you'll skip filters. Okay, so what is interesting about this too is if you wanted to get multiple shades, you've got your traditional pump and then you also can unscrew the entire lid and you have a doe foot. For my purposes, I will probably use the pump because I like to pump things onto the back of my hand and then apply them onto the skin, so that's how we're going to use it today. But say you got your contour shade and you wanted to just kind of use the doe foot applicator to draw some stripes on your skin to blend out a little bit of bronzer contour color, that would be super useful. I am going to try to apply a little bit with a brush and a little bit with a sponge. So to start, I'm just going to pump one pump on the back of my hand. There we go. It's a nice kind of thick, more whipped looking texture. And I'm going to do this half of my face with my brush. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. Ooh, okay, I barely picked up any and this goes a long way. Now, I don't have a primer on. It doesn't specifically say you need to go in with a primer, and where I've already done my skincare, I feel like I don't need to go in with a primer. That blended out so quickly, and there are absolutely no brush strokes anywhere. I'm amazed. I'm just gonna get a tiny bit more. I go down the half of my face right here. So if you want to go in with a primer, you totally can. I've done my skincare for the day and I feel like that is more than enough for me as far as prepping the skin goes. This looks really good. Okay, I am gonna take a little down my neck just to kind of see how it blends into my neck. The shade though is really good overall. I cannot believe how quickly that blended out. I am not kidding. Like, not a brush stroke in sight, and the coverage looks good so far. I want to go in with this Morphe sponge really quick for the other side and see how this goes. and then we'll try to come back and kind of build up a little bit of coverage depending on if I like the brush or the sponge better. I haven't used a sponge in a really long time. Ooh. I think I just am a brush girl, you know? And maybe it's just this sponge. Some people love this Morphe sponge. I think it's a little bit too dense. The nice thing about it being dense is it doesn't soak up a lot of product, but I think it can be a little bit trickier to blend out. I mean, it did blend out well in the end, but I don't love it as much as the brush side. So I'm just gonna go back to the brush, honestly. A little fuzzy. It is crazy how quick this blends out. I am not even joking. I heard Jackie Aina say the same thing in her video, but I'm honestly amazed because with other foundations, I feel like you kind of have to work out the brush strokes a little bit, but this all of a sudden just melts into the skin like crazy quick. And at first when I thought about that, I thought, okay, well maybe it's because it doesn't go very far and it sets too quick for it to really blend out. But I used one pump and I got really, really good coverage all over my skin. Here's what everything is looking like. Beautiful finish. It's definitely not, it's not dewy. It's definitely more matte, I would say, but it still has like a natural kind of skin look to it, which kind of makes me feel like it will wear really well throughout the day as well. I want to try to build it up just a little more just for fun, just to see how it goes. So I'm going to take another like half a pump here and sort of build it up just around my cheeks a little bit, see how well it layers. Okay. I always feel like I have to layer up a little bit on my nose as well. And it's usually really hard for me to do because my nose does not like to hold product on it very well. I'm surprised at how well that layered up actually. This is the best I've seen foundation stick to my nose in a minute. Like you can still see a little bit kind of right there that's a little bit patchy or kind of not sticking to it as well. But overall, usually I have to rely on a really full coverage like matte concealer to do this. And the more I blend over it, the more it picks up the product. But I actually feel like it layered and I'm amazed. I do like the shade. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it does look good. And it will look good once I apply my other face products. Again, this is LN2, so it's one of the really, really light shades for summertime. I do try to avoid getting too tan because tan equals skin damage and premature aging, and I don't want that. But I do end up getting a little bit of color usually, so I could probably go for a little bit of a darker shade. But this will definitely work. And I do feel like the undertone overall looks really good on my skin. The hardest thing about matching foundation is usually like your neck and your chest and your arms and your hands look different from each other, so you don't know where to match your foundation to. I like to match it to my chest more often than not, just because if I'm matching it to my chest and then I drag my foundation shade down my neck a little bit, it all blends in really seamlessly. And my neck can tend to be kind of like a weird color compared to the rest of my face, and then I would have to like blend it down my chest as well. So I feel like matching my chest works best for me personally, and my arms are usually a lot darker than everything else. So if I match my arm or my wrist or my hand, then try to apply it to my face, it would be really, really dark compared to the rest of my upper body. So chest works best for me, and I do feel like it actually looks really, really close, pretty dead on match. Not 100% perfect. They just didn't have all the shades in stores, and I got a little bit too impatient and I just bought which one matched the best. I wish they could have 100 shades in stores, but I doubt they're going to do that. Okay, again, everything's set down nicely. I'm just kind of patting over it to see if it picks up any product, and it isn't, and I'm amazed. And I only used a pump and a half-ish, and the coverage layered up beautifully. I feel really, really good about this, and I'm super excited. So let's go in with my other products, just some things that I've used before to see how everything layers on top. Okay, I'm taking my Catrice Liquid Camo Concealer. I'm gonna take this and just kind of highlight the centers here. I don't know if I love this concealer with it. I kind of want to try the e.l.f. Camo Concealer under the eyes. I think sometimes people try a product once and then they sort of just write it off really quickly if it doesn't work the one way that they're used to applying things. So I think it's good to try a product out with different products because sometimes certain formulas just don't really play well together. So that Catrice one, I feel like in the areas that I applied that concealer over top of the foundation, it was getting a little bit heavy, which I have noticed that with that Catrice concealer with just certain other foundations in the past. So that's why I wanted to try out this one just to see, and I don't feel like this one is doing it. So that's really good. Got way too much of this concealer on the back of my hand. What a waste. I hate that. And while I'm saying those areas look cakey, I'm just gonna apply a little more concealer on top. Not a good idea, but I already did it. So it seems like just from that a little experience that this foundation will work better with a more matte finish concealer. I don't know if that's always true because like I said, I've had issues with the Catrice concealer in the past, kind of looking a little bit heavy on top of certain foundations. So I don't know for sure, but if you like more of a matte concealer typically, then this will probably be a good foundation with the current products that you have. Okay, I'm just gonna set here under my eyes. And then just a little on my nose and on the sides of my nose too, just where I start to have a little bit of oils coming throughout the day. But I think we're gonna leave the setting to that. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly kind of apply my other face products to my skin to just see how everything goes on top of this. Since I've been loving cream products so much lately, I'm curious to see how my favorite cream products work on top of this foundation. So I'm going to go into this HydroBoost foundation stick from Neutragena on a little brush here and use this to contour my skin up a little bit. Okay, that blended out really well and I was not being gentle at all with my brush and I don't feel like it moved around the product or left any strokes in the skin. I feel like everything blended out really well, just like normal, if not even a little bit better. So for blush, I want to use this blush balm from Flower Beauty. I have the shade Pinched, but I really wanted to get another one. So this is the shade Bubbly. So I guess this technically is a new product, but I know the formula, I've tried it before, and it's just a new shade. Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay. Ooh, we're just gonna go in with a little bit at a time here. This looks so purple. Holy cow. Okay, maybe this will work. Ooh. Oh. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, no. This does not look good. Yuck. I do not like this color. I'm so sad. I thought this would be more of just like a pinky. Oh, no, no, no. You know what? Actually, this would probably mix with Pinched really well. Let's try that. Let's try mixing it because I already have one cheek on and I don't know what else to do. That was just so purple. I just thought it would be like, ooh, see, that's pretty. This is like what I thought it would look like. Okay, well, we may be mixing these from now on. That's cute. On this cheek over here, let's see if this will help. This might make it look even more crazy. Oh my gosh, I hate that blush color so much. All right, since my cheeks look absolutely crazy, I'm gonna take a clean stippling brush and buff over, and hopefully this will pick up some of the excess product. I'm really sad because I'm loving the foundation and now I have this terrible blush on. This side actually looks okay though. The side where I mixed the two and just applied a light layer actually looks fine. It's this side that looks absolutely crazy, and it It does look like a blush bomb went off on my face, actually. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. Not great, but not bad. It's fine. Okay, let's move on from that. That was awful. Let's try a little liquid highlight. Or, sorry, cream highlight, I guess. I'll have all these products listed down below. Pretty. Okay, my nose and chin look a little bit makeup-y. I don't know if you can see this. I could probably use with a little bit of pore filling primer just right in here. But yeah, my nose and my chin, I don't know if you can see, just look a little bit makeup-y. I think it was more the concealer on top of it because the rest of my skin looks like really, really good. So one thing I'm shocked about with this foundation is, okay, so for a long time people were calling for inclusivity, which is a great thing. Don't get me wrong. I think that all shade ranges, no matter how big or small, should be even in light and deep and medium categories. So I think that that whole movement has been so good. Companies have been coming out with a lot more variety in their foundation shades, which has been amazing. Fenty Beauty started the whole, you know, 40 or 50 shades right off the bat kind of a thing. And now from there, it's just kind of gone crazy, you know? People expect, you know, 50 to 60 shades for a foundation range, and they're super excited when a company comes out with that many shades. They just think it's amazing, such progress, blah, blah, blah. I agree, okay? That's not my problem. I just think it's funny. I haven't watched a lot of reviews on this, but I have watched a few and I read some things about this PUR foundation, and everyone is like, this seems a little gimmicky. When I'm like, the whole time everyone in the beauty space is like bugging for more shades, more shades, more shades. And now a foundation company does something like none other and comes out with 100 shades, which I do think is a little excessive. Everyone's now all of a sudden like, seems a little bit gimmicky, or what's the point of that? Like, what does that really matter? Which I think is so funny. Like, if you want more shades, they gave you more shades. Why are you complaining, you know? I think it's great so far. It seems like the shades are super well balanced and that they have a lot of variety in the undertones and that the undertones actually make sense. Now, I don't have a deeper skin tone, so I can't speak for everyone that has that kind of a struggle, but on the fair to light spectrum, it does seem like a lot of improvement, because most of the time the undertones actually kind of suck. And I feel like, you know, everyone's expanding the shade ranges on the deeper category, which again is amazing. Super happy about that. But I do think there's a lot of improvement that can be done for the fair category as well. Like, I'm not the fairest person on the planet. I'm not that fair, but I'm somehow the fairest shade of foundation in most ranges, and it doesn't even match, you know? So I just feel like there's a lot that needs to be done on that end as well. Okay, I'm just doing a light coat of mascara because I want to do some lashes today. Sometimes I really want to build up my lashes with mascara and it just takes a lot of time. So I wanted to try to get a pair of lashes that would be easy to just pop on and go and give me a really like thick, bold lash look that are just a little bit easier than like kicking on a ton of mascara. So I got them and we're gonna try those out. Okay, so here's my issue with lashes. I feel like all the ones I've ever tried are just like really, really thick and heavy. Those are fun if you have like a really bold eye look on, you're going out at night, you want something a little bit extra. But I wanted something that's a little bit more casual than that and easy to apply. I already have like pretty long lashes to begin with, and I don't have a ton of lid space, but I like to kind of cover up the fact that my eyes are sagging a little bit. So I like a longer lash, but I also don't want it so long that it looks insanely unnatural. I mean, obviously it's not gonna look natural, but if it can look a little bit more natural, then that's good. I just took these out of the box. This is the House of Lashes Iconic Lights. Here is what they look like. They're definitely a little bit long. They're not super full, and I like that they're spiky because they're going to allow my lids to show through a little bit more. And I do love that they are really, really short on the inside and then taper out to a little bit longer on the end. I don't like when this part of my eye gets too heavy, and so I feel like with some lashes I've tried in the past, I can get really, really long false lashes in the inner corner, and I just think it looks crazy. So I feel like these will look really good. When you get a new pair of lashes, it's definitely necessary to trim them, and where this lash tapers on the inside, we'll want to trim from this outer corner right here. So I usually will just kind of wiggle the band back and forth a little bit, and then I'll place it on my eye where I want the inner corner to be, and then I'll just decide how much of the bottom, like the end of the lash, we want to trim off. And it's usually about the same amount on each eye, so you can kind of trim one and then match the other and just make sure that they both are gonna look good. This is gonna be so pretty. I love these. I'm so excited. Okay, then I have the Esquito lash glue. You can use whatever you got. Just a little light coat like that, and then I like to wait 30 seconds to a minute for it to dry, or not completely dry but get a little bit tacky. That way it can really adhere to where you put it and it's not going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. Okay, I love these. They're so pretty. They're definitely a little bit more than your everyday lash, but they're not as bold as a lot of the other lashes that I have, so I still really like them. I should still look for something a little bit softer for everyday, but I feel like this is so pretty. I keep looking at them in the monitor because I'm like, ooh. Sorry. Okay, so those are beautiful. Let's throw on a lip. This has no relevance to the video whatsoever, but I'm just using the Almay Lip Vibes lipstick in Go Wild with a little bit of my Tarte Sugar Rush Fresh Pressed Lip Oil on top. This shine, I am telling you what. Okay, one last thing. Let's just see how this goes, because even though my makeup looks great now, my blush situation was a little bit wonky. And I want to try to put the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Powder, on top really quick and sheer that out, and then go in with a powder blush to see how that looks. Can you see that coverage and that finish? Look, I just put the powder on this side right here. My pores are so much less visible. The blush is like pretty much gone because this is a foundation powder, so it's giving you coverage. Oh my heavens. Let's go over the nose too, because my nose is the only thing that's looking a little bit weird. And we'll just put it everywhere, why not? Okay, then I'm gonna take my Essence Satin Touch blush in Satin Love. Okay, and then the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. We're back. I love this stuff. It's just so perfect. Holds everything in place. The mist is obviously incredible because it's aerosol, and it makes everything just look like skin. And since we applied a lot of layers of powder, that was definitely necessary. Wow, I love the foundation on my forehead. Ooh, where I just have that cream bronzer and the foundation. It looks so good. My first impressions on this is that I love it, okay? It is so easy to blend out. The shades, I really think they came out with a really good variety of shades to get you a good match. So if you're looking, I would check out their website. I would check out the PUR Shade Finder Instagram, and I would try to go in stores. Again, they don't have too many shades in stores, and if not, you got a lot of help online, and you can order the little sample sizes for $10. So I think this is wonderful shade-wise. Finish-wise, it looks like skin, but it's matte enough that I feel like it will last really well throughout the day. I will update you in a pinned comment down below how it wore throughout the day. I unfortunately don't have time to check back in, but I'll let you know if my opinion changes by the end of the day, depending on how it wore. But my skin looks amazing. It looks like skin. Try to avoid layering too much creamy concealer on top, but everything else blended really well on top. The blush was a little bit of a mishap just because the color absolutely sucked, but the formula of all my creams, my liquids, my powders, everything blended so well on top aside from the Catrice concealer. So go in with a more matte finish for your concealer with this product and try to use it a little bit more sparingly and see how that goes. Again, I've never seen a foundation blend out so fast and leave no brush strokes at all, but still give you tons of coverage. I've never had a foundation layer so well on my nose, even though my nose still doesn't look like great. It layered better on my nose than any of my other foundations. I'm being 100% honest here. So I'm very pleased. I'm super excited. Obviously, this video was just about the foundation, so thumbs up for me on this. I want to just fill you in too because I used that new blush. I did not like the shade and I am so mad about it. I thought it would be like, you know, a light kind of bubblegummy pink, but still wearable, but it was straight up purple. So if you get that and you want to mix it with the other shade Pinched, that could work well, but it's a little bit of a weird shade. Or maybe if you're a deeper skin tone, it might look a little better, but on me it looked super goofy, so stick with Pinched. I am in love with these lashes. What do you think? But I think they're beautiful. They're a good length. They're full, but they're a little bit kind of more sparse at the same time, if that makes sense. Full but sparse. I don't know how you can be both. They're full but a little bit spiky. I guess that's a good way to put it. So you can still kind of see your eyeshadow through a little bit better. And I love the inner corners because you can still see that there's lash there, but it's definitely not overcrowding my inner corner. That's my thoughts on everything. If you're thinking of trying this out and you love a full coverage foundation, you love a pump and a doe foot applicator, you love 100 shades, this is perfect for you. I keep turning around backwards. I absolutely love it. I'm excited to take it with me traveling. And again, I will update you, especially by the end of the day, but if anything changes after this weekend, I'll let you know in another video. But by the end of the day, I'll tell you in the comments below if anything's changed for my opinion on that. Here's one more little look at my skin, just so you can see it. Thank you so much for watching. This was such a fun video to film. If there's anything else you want me to try out, let me know. You know, I'm working off my own funds here, so don't let me know like too many things or too many expensive things, because I will go out and buy them, unfortunately. But if there is anything you're curious in seeing me try out or you want to know my opinion about it, please let me know. And yeah, I hope this was helpful if you're planning on trying that foundation out. If you liked it and you want to see more videos like this where I review one specific product, give this video a thumbs up because I would love to do more. Trying out foundations is one of my favorite things to do. So I hope you enjoyed and I hope you have a good one. Bye!